Welcome to the Intuitive Teacup, my friends. These tarot readings are meant to motivate, empower, and inspire you. Please keep an open heart and an open mind as you watch these general readings, as some material will resonate and some might not. Do have faith it is serving someone out there, and take away only what resonates for you. Please release the rest. Feel free to book a personal reading with me if you would like something catered specifically to your inquiries and energy. That information is down below for you. You are responsible for all actions and decisions and the vibe that you bring to this channel. This is optional advice or guidance, and of course, you will always have free will. Check the box below for my social media links, the decks I use, and more information on this channel. Let's hop into your tarot reading. What's up, Libra? Happy New Year. Happy 2021. We made it, guys. We're here. We're doing it. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope this video finds you well. January monthly tarot spread. The first half will be the first half is going to be love and romance. Second half will be career, money, finances. Timestamps are down below for you. Let's hop in. So give me a little storyline about Libra. Messages. Oh, there we go. Five of Swords. Messages they need to hear regarding love and romance in the month of January. The timeline of manifestation is up to you, Libra. So if you hear something you like or want, by all means, take it and run with it. Tarot doesn't really tell me dates, not all that often anyway, though if it does, I will certainly share that with you. Okay, so let's see what we got here. So in terms of major arcana, you have two Cancers. Do you have twin Cancers? Do you have twin sisters? Do you have twin brothers? Do you have two Cancers coming in? Are you leaving one Cancer behind and going towards another? Doesn't have to be that, but those two fell literally next to each other, and it is a card of Cancer. It doesn't have to do with a Cancerian in your life. It has to do with personal achievement, success, victory. This is about channeling your more masculine side. So even for my feminines out there, it's about doing something with more assertion. That's sort of the word coming through. More determination, a warrior-like mentality. I'm even getting Mars energy, so potentially this may have to do with a very strong placement in your chart, depending on where your Mars falls or what's aspecting your Mars right now. It may have to, I'm honestly hearing like going to war. That's a metaphor on something, but that could indicate that you may be fighting or having an issue with your spouse or with your partner or something. I think no matter what the end result is, whether you're divorcing or reuniting or whatever, it will be victorious for you. And something about the twins is important. So that may have to do with, a family member. You may be a twin. If it's not talking about that in terms of the literal twin, it could be indicating something with a Gemini as well. Also, the idea of the twin flame, the karmic soulmate, something of the sort. In fact, I am specifically seeing what's holding up the Chariot. I'm almost seeing the Four of Wands there, so 1111. Typically, that's a soulmate card, or the idea of reaching some sort of important milestone in your relationship. It could also indicate something with an Aries, or actually someone with red hair is sort of what I'm seeing there. So let's hop in deeper to this. So we can choose to look back to the past, or we can choose to look optimistically towards the future. I feel like I almost said optometrist in there, so some of you need to get your eyes checked. No, I'm just kidding. But that may actually be a metaphor for something bigger. In fact, the face, that makes me think of Aries, the eyes, that kind of thing. So maybe less focus or less attention put on the idea of physical beauty and more about the actual substance of the person. Do they offer you something of value? Are they making good on the promises about building a life with you? Some of you, I think you're starting to consider moving on from them. The thing is, I don't think this is someone leaving you. I think it's the opposite, and it doesn't have to be ending something forever, but maybe taking time apart or taking a break, taking some sort of rest from trying to build with someone who it's like they're just not certain. I feel like you guys, you get on the same page and then they start to wander again. Their mind is very distracted. Again, you might be dealing with a Gemini. It certainly doesn't have to be, but just that whole metaphor of the twins and duality and this and that. It's like some days they're here, some days they're not. It could even be, and I don't mean to take this so lighthearted because this could actually be a very serious issue, but someone who's like, what is a good word? I'm almost getting kind of like multiple personalities. I don't think for most of you that's literal, but certainly you could be dealing with someone like that. It's more that it's almost like it's who you want them to be. You see the potential in them, but it's not actually who they are yet. And so there's a very important message here of understanding that it's not your job to change a person. And if you're getting into a relationship kind of starry-eyed of, they're okay, but I know they could be so much better, that, it's almost like you're taking it upon yourself to show them the light. I'd be careful with that because I don't think that's your job. I think that's between them and the universe. And, you can love and support your person, but even at a healthy distance, and allow them to heal from their own shadow side or their own internal battle. A lot of you, you're just choosing to walk away from a relationship where it was just very confusing. I think there were a lot of question marks about never really getting to the bottom of why it didn't work or why they left you or this or that. Some of you are just moving on knowing that moving on for a lot of you is a victory, even though it doesn't feel like it right now. And for others of you, you're getting confirmation, Libra, that this is bringing back something you've already gone through. And it's saying, remember that point in time where you were very uncertain about building with this person? A lot of my Libras already chose to empower themselves and walk away and have a huge amount of faith and hope and all that there is something else out there for you. You listen to your intuition with that moon to understand that it might be time to let something go that was just okay or that you were really struggling with in order to open up your life and make room for something that is an assured victory or something much more powerful. To find a masculine, right? Whether it's a Cancerian or not, who actually wants a win with you. It's like they want a victory. I could almost see these two. It's so funny. This actually came up recently. I want to say it was in a Scorpio reading. So just keep that in mind. Just simply because, yes, it's comical, but there's also something important about this. Is like, I always see these two people in cars side by side in traffic. So yes, that sounds very kind of hopeless romantic rom-com, but that might actually be significant for some of you. You could bump into this person, yeah, maybe in traffic, or maybe it's just a metaphor of you have the same destination in mind. It's like you guys are on the same highway, you're on the same path or, road of life, however you want to say it. There's an I'm hearing the word intersection. That's actually very funny. In fact, some of you may end up dating someone who works in police enforcement or law. Something about like the idea of traffic tickets. I don't know. Are you hitting on the cop to get out of a traffic ticket, Libra? Yes, it could be something silly like that. Mostly it's a metaphor, but you could end up dating someone who's a car salesman or something about vehicles and transit and transport. You may meet this person while traveling. Do you understand my metaphors here? I'm not saying you literally, fender bender and you fall in love, though sure, if that's your message, cool, that's awesome. In metaphor, though, it has something to do with transit or travel, on the journey through life. You may end up meeting this person and realize or have this moment of, thank goodness I didn't settle for the one that was a little bit lackluster or just okay, or the one that it feels like a project. It's not that there isn't any potential here. There's some, but there's no guarantee of when those crops are going to spring up or when that person is going to make good on their promise. I even feel like this could be a relationship where it feels like you were tricked into getting into something with the promise of the ring or the promise of moving in together or building a home, only it never came. And it seemed like every time you would bring it up for discussion, this person would either be very defensive or change their mind, or it's like they slinked out of it. It's like they didn't want to let you go because they enjoyed having you around, but your enjoyment of them, it wasn't for the same reasons. I'm just sort of getting you guys weren't on the same page. And don't get too down on this, because for most of my Libras, you've already been through this. You already kind of know this. I think a lot of you may be in that in-between stage where you've actually moved on and now it's like you're waiting for the next one. So word to the wise, the aces always start with us. So this is just a little, what is a good word? A little advice or message for you to keep growing on yourself. Focus on your mind, body, spirit. It's Capricorn season, that earth energy. Get grounded, focus on your stability, focus on your money, focus on your jobs, focusing on building the life of your dreams, whether you have a person or not, because you would be surprised. Someone might be driving on up. Somebody might be zooming in. That makes me think of like Zoom calls. Yeah. And actually you could meet someone at work. You could meet someone through a relationship with your father. It could be like your father's employee. I don't know if they come to the house with some document for him to sign or, something like that. You may meet someone through your father, or you could end up dating someone you work with. Specifically if you work in transit, if you're a traveling salesperson, or if you work in the almost like automotive or travel type industry. It could be vacation homes or vacation properties or even realty, something to do with homes, Cancerian energy. There's a connection to the family here. So some of you may end up merging families, so there could be some sort of engagement or promise to be exclusive with one another. The thing is, if you're just getting out of something that didn't work, I don't see that happening instantly, but it's almost like the idea of feeling that sense of victory and success of being with someone who you are on the same page with and you have a lot in common with, that may end up making its way. I'm almost like into the history books is what I'm getting. Like that could end up being your lifelong person if that is something you desire. All right, so let's get some new messages for. I almost called you Cancer because you have so much Cancerian energy here. Some of you have very strong Cancer in your chart too. So if that's the case, that's more of a confirmation for you Libra with Cancer moons or Cancer risings. All right. Yeah, you may meet someone on a vacation or having to go on some sort of work trip. Or you already have. It could be that you've already made a connection and it was never something romantic, but that may come back around again. Yeah, it's almost like that person you met at the airport bar once and had a nice conversation with. If you guys exchange social media or text or something like that you would be surprised. Some of you are like, oh yeah, that did happen to me. Hey, I'm just saying, if it's coming up in your tarot spread, jump on that, Libra. Okay, new messages. Yeah, some of you are working your way towards a big accomplishment in work, but it's not here yet, but it's saying don't give up. It's time to get refocused and re-energized, because there is reward and success coming after, like a long time coming for a project that you've been working on for many months or possibly many years. It's like you're on the verge of breaking through and seeing the return of that income or whatever you want to say. Anyway, it's coming. Don't give up. All right, so refocusing on love. Okay, that's the same card I saw, though. So something to do with work, something about your love life right now. It does have a connection to the work you're doing. Now, it could be the personal work on your home, your house, your body. More than likely, though, it's like your career and finances, your 9 to 5, for lack of a better term, but your main source of income. Though I would argue, too, it could be your side hustle. It could be something you do for fun and you're trying to monetize it, or, there might be a like-minded individual who's trying to do that, too, and you guys form a nice little connection, and not only can you give each other, like, work advice, but it might be, there might be flirtation is sort of what I'm saying, particularly with a Taurus or a Capricorn. Taurus and Capricorn are very strong here. Yeah, so there's new love. There could be new love with an earth sign, and again, there's a connection to work here. It could be someone who shows you around your new workplace too. I don't know if it's like a temp or an intern or a secretary, or I'm getting you almost don't work directly with this person, but they're showing you around a building. It could also be someone showing you a new space. So if you're renting a new space or buying a home, there could be a connection with someone who's taking you almost on like a tour. Now I'm seeing like museums too. So museum curator, I just heard. Maybe that's you, but I don't know. There's something about touring new spaces and you form a connection with the person who's showing you the space. Some of you are moving to the ocean or to buy someplace that overlooks the water, or you have a very close connection to like a fond memory about being around this place, like this outdoor environment. Some of you may end up going camping, and it's like if you're going with a group of friends or a group of siblings, there might be one other person who gets added to the mix, and there would be flirtations. And you guys would end up calling each other a lot on the phone, like this person actually likes to talk on the phone. There's good fortune coming in with an Aries. Who they were, or you were a little bit stuck in your head. More than likely it was you. I see this being an issue actually where you guys actually have a mutual connection here, but somebody was all in their head because there is a significant age difference between you guys. And so it could even be up to like 20 years or something like that, where it's like the love is there and it's good, but you're letting like societal norms impact your ability for this to thrive. So use your good judgment. I would never suggest you date someone who's underage, or, like use your wisdom too, but I see there being a big age gap, and I don't know who it is. It could be my Libras are significantly older than this person, or vice versa, but for most of you, I'm saying don't even pay any attention to that. Like, it's love, go for it. If it feels right in your heart and you're not breaking any laws, jump on it, right? For others of you, there was someone who was holding back because their person has children, and so that was like I'm almost getting like, I'm not ready to be a stepmom, or I'm not ready to be a stepdad. Like, I don't think it was your child, or vice versa. If you're a single mother, it could be your person has reservations about getting anything together with you significant because they were like, well, you have your own, I don't know. And so here's the thing, the Wheel of Fortune says it's going to spin in a positive direction. That won't be the scenario for much longer, but somebody really has to get out of their own way. They're putting up all these blockages of it really, it's fear or wanting certainty about the outcome, or something about expectations, and it's different than someone thought it was going to be, but that doesn't mean it's not going to be great. This person is very stuck in their old ways of doing things. They're very rigid. They're very traditional, possibly, about how they viewed a certain relationship, and universe is like, listen, I threw something good at you, so take it or leave it. But this actually does have very good vibes around it. For some of you who have either a child or a parent, specifically a father, but it could be, your teenage son or daughter or whoever, who was behind bars or in prison, there's good news about like early release or good behavior or something like that. And then for others of you, if it doesn't have to do with a significant age difference between you, where someone feels kind of uncomfortable about it, the thing is, it's all superficial. It's like, oh, well, how will this look in public? What will our families say? Like, really? Are we it's about you guys together. That's it. If it doesn't
doesn't have to do with your age difference. It has to do with your bank account difference, how much somebody makes versus what you make. You may feel insecure about, working on a teacher's salary, but you're dating like a multimillionaire, or, I'm just throwing examples at you. But again, is that really what's important? Like, and I'm asking you, only you know the answer to that, but I guess it's kind of weighing out what's holding us back here. And it does have to do with almost an identity crisis, or feeling a sense of lack, feeling like I'm not good enough, I could never compare, I could never compete, it does have to do with beating yourself up for things that you really don't need to. Especially for my Libra women who are significantly older than their mate, whether your mate is male or female, I'm sort of getting, what's the problem? Like, that's what the universe is saying. Like, what's the problem here? Anyway. Some of you, it's like your teenage son or daughter is dating for the first time, and you're very nervous about it. And I'm going to say this, you might even be a little bit controlling, because it comes from a good place. You're wanting to protect them, but you need to understand, like, they need to, their cycle is moving on into something new. Okay, they may have gotten their period for the first time too. It's something about your children. They're embracing this new cycle, and ultimately they have a whole bunch of lessons to learn the same way you did in your youth. So as much as it may come from a place of wanting to protect them and save them from the difficulties you experienced in dating, by all means, pass down your wisdom and information, but I'm almost getting you're trying to control something that can't be controlled. Like, the wheel is already set in motion, the ball is already in motion, so it's always like trying to take something back when, like, it's gone. You can't. So again, it's like finding healthy ways to cope with this scenario, rather than putting, like, again, living in a state of fear or panic or something about that. It's just like, allow it to happen organically, and I guess, arm yourself however you can to be prepared for it. But I'm almost getting there's something inevitable here. And if it doesn't do your child, it's the scenario of like the forbidden fruit or the forbidden love. I could never be with someone who's 12 years younger than me. Really? Because the universe kind of, like, why would the universe throw this at you if they didn't think you could handle it? That's sort of what I'm getting with that. All right, one new love message, and then we will talk about your career and finances. Libra. Should we switch decks? Yeah, we'll switch decks. 3 of Swords at the bottom? Yeah, we'll switch decks. Like how I did that? You're welcome. All right, here we go. Let's keep the vibe high. Let's tell Libra some positive messages in their love life. But whatever the universe calls for, so if it's tough love or whatever Libra needs to hear for their best and highest good. Libra in love. 8 of Cups. Again, so there is something you're detaching from. And for some of you, it was hopes of a home. Some of you are hoping to close a deal on your house, and universe is saying, it's almost like wait a little bit longer. So it's almost like you're detaching from something. You're like, oh, I want this. It's like, let go, release control. It will happen when it's supposed to happen, because you have a better offer coming in. That's what I'm getting. Some of you have to pass up a small offer, whether that involves dating or money. It could even be a job. It's passing up something that, at one point in time you saw potential in it, but really universe is saying emotionally it's sort of void now. It's not going to be the fairy tale ending you thought it was going to be. The good news is there's something else coming in that's going to make you very happy. So some of you may be leaving a water sign to go towards another water sign. Some of you may be leaving a Pisces, and it's just saying there will be new love. Tell me more. Some of you are having stomach aches, and you may want to get it checked out. And I don't predict anything scary. I don't really do medical readings by any means, but it's something about your stomach or your digestive issues. You should get that looked at in the new year, because I'm almost getting you've been putting it off. Is it something about an ulcer, or that could be your person too? I don't know why that's coming up. Some of you need to cut back on your alcohol. Your alcohol consumption is too much. So yeah, peel that back, or however you want to say it. Ooh, yeah, so some of you have a fire sign coming in, especially a female fire sign, but it doesn't have to be. An Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It may also be a Scorpio. There's someone who's very passionate. Yeah, okay, so this does have a lot of sexuality with it, so I'm not sure in terms of its lasting, how that's going to go. And to be honest, I'm not putting a death sentence on it. I'm not saying don't. I'm not saying don't explore this, but I am saying go in with realistic expectations of that you guys, again, it's like don't block your blessings right off the bat. It's like you have no reason not to be optimistic about this. Don't wear rose-tinted glasses. If you're being presented with a lot of red flags and a lot of kind of like, ooh, I don't like that, you need to listen to that. That's your intuition. For most of you, you have someone coming in who I'm almost getting flat out. They tell you like, I'm casually looking to date, but I'm not ready to like lock it down any, at a certain date, or like there's, what is a good word for it? Like this person they're very honest with you. You might be dealing with a Sagittarius. They're very blunt, but you can pretty much take them at their word. So if they tell you, I like you and I'm not seeing anyone else, but I'm not sure I want to move in with you yet, that's their truth. So I guess it's saying, enjoy this for what it is. Take it a day at a time. Don't smother this person's fire by being too clingy or codependent. This seems like it could actually grow into the future, but it's going to start off slow and steady, which Libra, this looks really good. I'm hearing like stick in your side, or what is that expression? It's like what's going to pull this apart and essentially lead to its downfall is rushing in too quickly and burning out too quickly. And the idea of suffocating your person, being like, where are you? You didn't text me, blah, blah, blah. If you truly love this person and trust them, again, you have to use your own judgment, but it's something about setting healthy boundaries of allowing them to live their life and knowing that if you guys have had the discussion of, I don't want to see anyone else, but this and that, it's almost like you have to get the terms of agreement out of the way so that you can settle on what this is, and then you both have to stick to the rules. And I'm going to be honest, for some of you, these rules, it's a little bit different than how you've approached relationships in the past, but it actually has a lot of success. It seems like it would have a good success rate, but I'm telling you, this is not someone who's instantly going to rush in with a wedding ring. It's going to, I heard taper off, and I know that that term has this idea that's going to taper off, like it's not going to withhold, it's not going to withstand, it's going to slowly exit your life. So that's possible, but here's the thing, it wouldn't be done in a way where you weren't fully aware of it and almost in agreement of it. It's like you may try to date this person and you enjoy each other's company, but in 3 months you may be like, I think we're just friends. And the thing is, you would be okay with that. For others of you, the idea of taper off, I think that has to do with don't shoot the messenger, Libra, I love you, but it has to do with your need or your desire to lock it down and know exactly what they want from you and where it's like you want a guarantee this will be your husband or this will be your wife. And I'm telling you, you're going to taper off in needing that right out the gate when you start dating this person, because it's just not there right now. You don't know. I feel like even the universe doesn't know. There's a lot of factors that are going into this, and so you have to be open. And another reason why this could be is because this might be a long distance relationship. It could be that you two don't live in the same city. And it doesn't have to be super long distance, like you might get to see each other like on weekends or something, but it could be that there are reasons why this can't come together instantly, and I think you are going to taper away from the habit, the pattern, the behavior of needing to hold on to it for dear life because you're so fearful of losing it. There's just you're able to breathe and exhale, and there's peace of mind that comes with this person, but there's less rules and regulations. That's the best I can describe it. Yeah, it brings you peace of mind. Absolutely. 4 of Swords. And yeah, I think there's a lot up in the air right now. For some of you, this is a soulmate, and for others of you, you're going to have options in the future. So I wouldn't string this person along, but you may end up choosing someone else in the long term. But, I would be open to this for sure. A lot of fire energy here. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. All right, Libra, let's refocus. Let's talk about your money. What is this that flipped over? Ooh, King of Cups. So possibly a big offer coming your way that would be very lucrative. A lot of income coming in. Okay, so for this, I'm sort of hearing some of my Libras are looking for more avenues and resources of income, or looking to improve their financial status. What can I tell them? Some of you need to go independent. You need to go rogue. I'm almost getting hermit vibes. So either you're working as an independent contractor, or you may be opening your own business or starting your own stream of income it solely relies on you. So it could be a YouTube channel. It could be, an Etsy account or something like that. Some of you may want to start something completely entirely on your own. Even if it's not your main source of income, an additional stream of income would be helpful to you. Some of you are going to work on boats or work with sea creatures, or I'm sort of getting oceanscapes. So I don't know if you're a marine biologist or you're a scientist or something to do with you could be an environmentalist helping with clean air and pollution, that kind of stuff. Something by water. Some of you may be collaborating with a water sign, specifically on jewelry or something to do with fashion, specifically hats. All different kinds of hats. So, I don't know if that's your message or not, but hopefully you'll know if it is. Some of you are like selling cell phones or doing something with like cellular data or new means of communication. Some of you are going to start a new platform of communication that like almost like, you know, Zoom or, you know, FaceTime. There's like a new platform of communication, you know, Google, whatever. There's something about that to connect people who are not together anymore. And I'm sort of getting it's very innovative. There's something new about it. Something about the smell. Gosh, I don't even know what to do with this message because it sounds kind of witchy and magic and mystical, but there's something about being able to smell things from different. I know you guys, I know, it sounds crazy to me too, but it'll make sense to someone, I hope. It's like not only does it translate the audio and the visual, but there's something about sound. So maybe it's more like holistic, again, alternative medicine or alternative communication. I don't know what to do with this. Like I hear myself saying, I'm like, what is this? I don't know either. So anyway, something about the translation of smells across wires or something, or across, I don't know, whatever. Moving on. Yes, so some of you are going to get a disappointing call followed by a very important call. So this could indicate a stop or a delay in your income and resources, right? The Three of Swords is like, oh, bummer. That has another message too. But then you're also going to get a call that's like, oh, let's celebrate. This is going to be huge for building our empire. So there are some wins and some losses, but they're both here. So know that it's not going to be all sunshine and roses, but it's not going to be all doom and gloom either. Some of you may be leaving a job where you worked very closely with a water sign, a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, and some of you will be starting your own business, your own sort of entrepreneurial endeavors, or you may end up working with a group of friends or specifically a group of women. You may be catering or targeting specifically two groups of women. Some of you are going to, especially my female Libras, you are going to be taking over the reins or the position of someone who's been in power for a very long time, and they are very likely masculine or I actually heard maternal. That's very interesting. So you may be working, you know, in a maternity ward with babies or whatever, you know, whatever it is. You may be taking over someone who retires who is masculine. There may be a new, I'm hearing like usurping of power, but it's a positive message of it's like the women are in charge now. Girl boss style. That's sort of what I'm getting there. Some of you are going to be spiritual healers. You're going to heal the world essentially with kindness and through communication. So some of you may be counselors or psychologists or therapists. You may specifically be working with children or animals. You may be doing, again, like kind of holistic healing of like Reiki and energy type healing. And something to do with healing waters, like, I don't know, something about, I'm hearing like crystal bath. So I don't know if that's a service you offer in sort of some sort of holistic spa. There's something about like healing waters, which sounds very religious and kind of spiritual. In fact, some of you are going to be participating in a very spiritual, ceremony. So it could be a wedding, right? It could be exchanging of wedding vows, but it could be part of your little coven, part of your little spiritualist group. There's some very important ceremony, and I feel like you get named as a head position or as a very important leader or someone who's really impacting the group in a positive way. There's reasons to celebrate, and I am sort of seeing something with wine or some sort of important, like, I'm just going to say like liquid. I don't know what it is. It's probably something special to what you're doing, but I don't know. I don't know what to do. Moving on. Tell me more about Libra. In terms of money, there's a reason to celebrate. So there might be a small increase in your income or a new opportunity, a new job in which it offers you an extra bonus or more money than you weren't expecting. There's reason to celebrate your career. And some of you are joining, a group of women specifically. Out with the old, in with the new. There's something here about Libra really shaking up the style of the way something is done, particularly in like an office setting or something where it could even be something kind of like church related. Like it's always been done this way. It's very rigid. There's not a lot of wiggle room for creativity and new ideas. You're like, oh, really? Like you come in and you shake up the emperor. It's not to say that what the emperor built was bad, but it's very rigid and it's too traditional. It's too outdated. So you and your Aries friend may actually come in and shake it up and add that little streak of fun and creativity. It's a little bit wild. It might even be a little bit controversial, but I do think it will be successful. For some of you, the color red is very important. I'm seeing all these beams of red, and it seems very, very significant. So maybe that has to do with the name of your company or the color scheme you're using for some project, the color red. And even the idea of being in the red, it's something about you may come in and kind of save the team or save the day if they're in debt or if finances are no good. All right, so you have a King of Cups and you have a King of Fire, which is exactly what I'm seeing here. So there may be a transition of working from one boss to another or one company to another. You know, your boss could retire and all of a sudden you get a new boss. It could be something like that where it affects you, but it's not necessarily you leaving a company. I do think the person who's taking over is going to have much more passion and I'm almost getting they have a bigger heart, which we like, right? You're my Venus babies. This person rules with compassion and kindness, and so I think if things have been stale or stagnant, there's a revival of the group energy that gets the project up and off the ground this time, and it actually succeeds because there's something outdated. You need to update it. It could even be updating your technology too. And yeah, there's something innovative here. I'm getting kind of Aquarian energy, like it's a little bit futuristic, it's a little bit different and out there. And so whoever is pitching this idea or trying to implement this new system, it may be met with a lot of resistance, even hostility of, we've always done it this way and it's working. And I think some of my Libras are coming in and be like, but times are changing, so it's not going to work that much longer. We need to do this. You guys are starting to build a new foundation. And I think it's like a company that already exists, but you're going to work miracles. Something to do with solar power or conservation of energy too, I see. Wow, you have 3 kings. So you have the Earth King. Some of you are going to be working with animals. And again, something that are very, like a religious ceremony or a spiritual ceremony. If it's not spiritual or religious, it's some sort of formal event where I almost see awards being given away. And there's like important speeches being made about, company protocol, but it's positive. It's not like one of those meetings where it's like, oh my God, do we have to go? It's like getting the group back together and getting excited and reinvigorating it. And there's like a lot of hype surrounding it. There may even be a little controversy too, depending on if there's a shift in management or something. It's like something about you're getting back to nature. You're doing things maybe in a more organic way or an environmentally friendly way. It's controversial, but it's very good. It's probably ahead of its time. Some of you are going to work with the elderly community or possibly at an old folks home. Some of you are going to be raising a lot of gifts for donations, for charities, again, kind of humanitarian type acts, or, clothing drives and food drives. You may be getting everybody at your workplace on board to do this and do some very generous act for especially people who are really in need, people who are sick, people who are elderly, people who are homeless, something like that. You're going to be, it's a very Libra type energy. It's like you're doing what's best for the community. You're doing what's best for the group. Some of you are working tremendously hard with your hands. I'm almost seeing projects of like woodworking, like making tables and chairs. And I don't know if this is your job. It might be. You may be like a craftsman or a craftswoman, however you want to say it. Or there might be some sort of project where you're having to build furniture. And again, maybe it's like, what do they call that? Habitat for Humanity or something of the sort where it's like, there's a common goal and you're giving it to people, but it's very labor intensive. And I literally see you with like a hammer and nails and tools and sanding wood. A lot of you are sanding wood. And so maybe you're doing home repairs too, right? Career finances, money, your house, stuff like that. And some of you are cooking or you're participating at a soup kitchen. And some of you actually may be taking a keen interest in cooking and baking, and that may actually open a door for you career-wise. The 10 of Earth. Yeah, so some of you are working your way out of financial debt and you're going to get a job offer that pays you more than you've ever been paid before. So you're going to be like celebrating. You're coming out of financial debt. The only difficult part about this is that you may actually have to move away from your family, or it may put you at odds with your person if like you're not spending as much time at home anymore. There's something that's requiring a lot of work and effort away from the home. So even if you're not moving houses or moving cities, it's like your person's going to miss you. And so there's a little bit of a divide in terms of splitting your time between work and home. It's like having good work-life balance. That's going to be a challenge for you in the coming months, but you can do it. And also set realistic expectations. Don't be too hard on yourself. For some of you, there's a lot of money going to your father. I don't think it's coming from your father. There's something about some of you. I'm not really getting financial debt, but it has to do with, if it's not your father, there's some sort of thing going on in your family that's going to require you to spend a lot of money. So it could be home repairs. It could be, your kid just got his license and he needs a car or something like that. There's a lot of money going towards something that I wouldn't say it's completely unexpected, but you were hoping you could defer payments or push it off longer, and it's like they're coming to collect. Ten of Pentacles in reverse is there may be a lump sum of money you have to spend or give or help somebody out with, but you will get it back in time. So don't be fearful of, oh my God, but what if it will come back to you in time, but obviously be diligent with what you're spending your money on. For some of you, you may have to move homes unexpectedly because, especially for those who live in an apartment complex, something shady went on. And obviously, this isn't for everybody, but it could be something, God forbid. I don't necessarily predict scary stuff. I'm just kind of, arming you with what I got in these readings. There could be something about a house fire or a flooding issue in an apartment complex, or even an infestation, something about it's like public health and safety is nope, we're shutting it down. So it's everybody has to move. So it's not just, anyway, that's what I'm getting. So just be aware of that. Save your money just in case something like that happens. God forbid. Okay, let's do some oracle cards and we'll wrap up for Libra. For my Libras. Ooh, that one fell out. Ooh, dance, celebration. Maybe some of you are going to be dancers. Absolutely, you're going to have something to celebrate. You do have very strong cards. And I'm particularly noticing her jewelry there. So some of you may end up making jewelry, and maybe you're just starting your own little Etsy shop. It's, it doesn't have to be $1 million business. It's just doing something you love and putting it out into the world. It brings other people joy, and it brings you joy, right? Because it adds a few pennies to the bank account. So remember to dance. Remember to celebrate. Remember not to take everything too seriously. There is reason to celebrate, not only in the future for good things coming in, here at this very moment, even if you are in your lowest of lows, find a reason to celebrate. Find a reason to be grateful, to show the universe your gratitude for what you have right here in front of you, right? It's not always about being futuristic, thinking about, what can I get? What can I accomplish? What can I gain? What do you have now that you are grateful for? Express that, right? With your beautiful Libra heart. All right. I want to dance. There's the song by one of my favorite artists. His name is Frank Turner. He's like a rock, he's all over the place. He's rock, punk, and folk. His name's Frank Turner, and he has a song called I Want to Dance. It's so good. Actually, it's not called I Want to Dance. It's called 4 Simple Words. That's what it's called. You should look it up. It's a real, it's fun. It's a fun song. It's called it's called 4 Simple Words, but the refrain or the chorus is I Want to Dance. It's so good. Anyway, and then your butterfly oracle card, grief work and memories. So some of you may be overcoming something very, very difficult that has already happened in your life. You may be going through this now, right? Again, find a reason to celebrate and raise your vibration. I don't know if you all believe everything happens for a reason. I kind of do. It doesn't always make sense in the moment, but again, go through that difficult grief work because I think it will be worth it in the end. And then most importantly, you'll gain a greater perspective. So rather than staying in sort of this a mental prison of things that haven't gone right and being fearful of taking new steps or starting new chapters and ending old ones with, people who they cycled out of your life for one reason or another, it's saying don't live in the state of, nothing will ever be good again. In fact, universe has other things in store for you, right? Remember we started off with the 2 chariots? This is like a coincidental meeting of someone, and it could be someone who you lost, right? I don't predict death on my channel, but grief work, that's pretty important. This to me is almost saying we'll meet again. You'll meet again on another plane. That's actually a really beautiful message. I'm getting all emotional just thinking about it. I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Do you guys know that song? Oh, I'm throwing all my music and lyrics at you now. Frank Turner married a Libra, actually. So here goes my shot. Damn it. I'm just kidding. All right, Libra, that's what I got for you. Thanks for tuning in today. Please like, share, subscribe. I hope you guys have a kick-ass 2021. I think we can only go up from here, right? It's going to get better. It absolutely will. It already is better, right? Say it like it's already happened. Thanks for tuning in, Libra. Please like, share, subscribe, and I will see you soon for more love tarots. Bye, guys.